Okay, cool. A NAF Online live double header this morning for my first two rounds of the NAFC tournament. I am using Chaos Pact, and my first game, happily, was against Goblins, and it was a nasty, nasty, nasty one for him. So I'm going to zoom through it because it's all good fun. So I won the toss and chose to receive because I think it's a good idea to beat up some goblins if you can, and then sort of force the bribe use and so on, just to give you a chance to sort of control the game a bit. I think really, and then I happily smacked down a troll who didn't regenerate. So yeah, that was rather marvellous. So certainly a decent start to that one, and then took out a goblin who was who obviously didn't regenerate because they don't do that sort of thing. Then the Minotaur failed and just stunned a goblin. And then I protected, and then the troll also the troll managed to knock out a troll. So troll on troll action, and the troll was gone. So looking pretty rubbish for the goblins now. And it just got worse and worse. The goblins just kept leaving the pitch. And so it was just a case of when do I score, and it just got horribly messy. And I did score. I scored far too early, but it was just horrible. So I thought I'd make an interesting game of it rather than just stalling out and beating up goblins for 8 turns, which is a terrible mistake, to be honest, against goblins. It's because it can all go horribly wrong. He didn't have any trolls, but he did have a pogo on the ball, and he did have the capability of causing some damage. So he managed to pick up the ball with his sure hands guy, and his chainsaw was still doing pretty well. So I just needed to be careful, really, and try to slow him down. Didn't do a brilliant job actually. So the pogo was able to get deep into my half, and then put himself in scoring range. So I was a little bit concerned at this stage. I managed to get 3 dice there. And then his chainsaw failed to fire on that one, and then he failed a dodge there. So well, with that failed dodge, I think the game was over, basically. So I was able to maneuver people into the right position so that I was able to surf the pogoer. Otherwise, I'd have needed a POW on it. I didn't have any block lurking. So I got the surf, and the ball went flying. Managed to pick it up with the Dark Elf. And then put someone in scoring range. On his turn, he managed to take out my goblin, and then he managed to extract a few players, get 1 dice on the ball carrier. At this point, I didn't realise he had another turn because my counting went wrong, despite it saying 7 in big letters at the bottom. So this could have been horribly wrong. So I went for a 3-up dodge, and if I'd failed, he could have easily made the 3-up and then made it equalise. But I didn't think he had another turn, so I'm a genius like that. So I made the 3-up dodge, 2-up dodge, and then a 2-up dodge, and then went for the 3-up handover to the Skaven, who then went for the pass, and made the catch, used the reroll, go for it over the line, and white line of doom. And this is the point at which I realised he had another turn, but luckily he didn't manage to score. And then he didn't have very many players in the second half, and I was able to sort of pressurise the ball and score, and eventually just went in for the and eventually it ended up 3-0 on that one, which put me top of the table, but that meant I had to face some Amazons with Roxana, who had also played against goblins in their first half. Yes, I do want to leave the game. They'd played against goblins in their first game, and they'd won 6-0. So more touchdowns, but fewer casualties. I had the fame again, so that was good. This time I'm the away teams. Now I'm in blue, so he just had 2 guard, 1 leader, and Roxana. Put my big guys on the line just to rely on armor 9 to protect them. And then he sort of and then he failed to well, he did foul my ogre, but rolled a classic double 1. So even with 5 assists, wasn't able to get through. So it was my turn 1, and I already had a 2 dice blitz chance on Roxana. So all I need to do was to get them maraud around to here, cancel that assist. This guy's guard, so there's no point in cancelling that one, but I need to cancel this assist and this assist. I needed 2 different players to do that. So putting this one in danger, but that was all fine. Managed to move the Minotaur, which is good. And so basically I just did a load of sensible stuff. I did all the move stuff, but then I failed the bonehead on the blitz, and that was a game-changing thing really, because this ogre has block, so both down or power would both have been good. Reroll might have been sensible. I did have 4 rerolls, and thinking back, this is why I probably had 4 rerolls for opportunities like that. But I figured that more chances would come, basically. So I thought I would save the reroll for more chances when they came, and more chances did come, in fairness. But I don't know. Should I have gone for that one? Oh, I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Would you have gone for the reroll on that one? So here I was able to free up the person there and then put a bit of pressure on Roxana, so forcing the 2-up dodge, which can sometimes go wrong. It wasn't a great turn, that one, to be honest. He powered my ogre, and then he one dice powered my Minotaur 2 turns in a row, which was frustrating. So he's down to 1 reroll now. And he manages to cage up Roxanne in the middle. The snake eyes didn't come off, and just a load of dodges did work. But I was really pleased with my position after this turn, just because it was basically I couldn't see how he was going to get anything good to come out of this turn, and any sort of safe position. I've got the big guys all around the ball. I just needed something to go wrong. What started with a 1 dice and then sculled, so that was the last reroll gone. So that was all looking good. And then just a few pushes, forcing the dodges. If any of these dodges go wrong, then all is good. And then a 2 dice block on the troll, broke the armor, which is frustrating. But yeah, that dodge failed, and so at this point I had a few options. I could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the Minotaur, 2 go for it's on Roxana. That seemed a bit of a high risk thing, and again Roxana wasn't going to score this next turn, so I didn't feel the need to necessarily go for the ball. I was defending quite deep, but I was reasonably happy with that, so I made the decision not to go for the ball on this one and just consolidate my position, go for the 6 dice on the Amazon on the Blitzer. Didn't break armor with Mighty Blow, and then just decided to put some pressure onto the ball basically, and see if he could get any sort of a decent position out of the next half, which seemed unlikely. He immediately double both downed on his turn, so that was a nice quick one. And then so now I had opportunities. So what I was hoping to do was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 5, sorry. So 1 dice block on Roxana with the Dark Elf, looking for a push to push next to the block ogre. But foolishly, I was still thinking about whether I should do that, and I think that was the obvious play. But while I did that, I just did this random 2 dice block with a Minotaur and double both downed, basically. But made the loner. So that was a bonus, but that meant I didn't have the reroll for the Dark Elf Blitz. So when the Dark Elf Blitz came round, double both down, stunned myself, didn't manage to stun Roxana, and the ball was loose. And yes, I was cursing myself for a ridiculous rookie stupid mistake that got punished by the dice. Still not looking perfect for him. Let's see if he can get... So no rerolls, but basically no rerolls, but all his dodges... No, not all his dodges. It felt like all his dodges were working. So at this point, I just needed 2 3-up dodges, one with the dodge skill. So if I was able to dodge out here, and then I was be able to blitz with the Orc, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I can get the Goblin round to here, then the Orc can blitz Roxana 2 dice, which is not perfect, but would be all right. Just need to hurt Roxana basically at this stage. But the Goblin failed, and then it was all doomed from that one. So I finished the turn with... So on my thing, the Goblin was knocked out, so wasn't able to go for the throw teammate. But what did happen was he used his Zappo on a badly hurt, and then I fouled this Lion Woman to death, but I got sent off because I miscalculated how many players I had, which was not very sensible. Very sunny in the second half. and then I got the ball, and then I generally thought, shall I move the Skaven over? But then I thought, no, I'll wait to see what happens. I'll blitz with them in a minute, and then the Mino did the thing. So 3 dice into 2 dice, sadly, because of the Garda, which I didn't. Well, no, it wasn't even a Garda, just the assist there, and then doubled both down and left me completely open, and then it all went wrong. Roxana did the thing. So 2 3-up dodges through, and then a pow on the blitz, and then Roxana does a 2-up dodge, and then a something up dodge, 3-up dodge, leaps out, and is safe. And then I failed my 3-up dodge out, and then it's all over from there. So yeah, really frustrating. Didn't play very well. Actually finished 3-1 in the end. I managed to score, but and then Roxana did shenanigans to score back. So yeah, really disappointing. Some really rookie mistakes, and probably the worst of the dice a little bit. But I'm not going to moan about that because it was the mistakes that cost me the game. C'est la vie. Onwards. Pressure's off now.